tonight they delivered a strong and a powerful message. They want a district attorney that believes everyone deserves to be safe and everyone is entitled to some dignity.
Fani Willis's opponent goes by the name of Courtney Kramer. She is an attorney and she is running to get into the Fulton County's district attorney's office. Now, a lot of us in Fulton County, we're going to be a little bit happy to see that Fani is not going to run unopposed because of all the stuff that's been going on with this YSL trial. Not only the YSL trial, but also everything that's happening with future President Donald Trump. That case being on hold, and Fani Willis is still going to some hearings, which has been insane. And a lot of the Fulton County faithful have just had enough. And Courtney Kramer agrees with her. Now, she's a fairly new into the legal field, so I think it'll be interesting to see what she has to say when it comes to different things she wants to put in place, how she plans on running and functioning as the district attorney. But most recently over this weekend, she put out a statement about what's going on in the YSL trial. And I think you guys are going to find this interesting. Let's go ahead and read it. She dropped it on Friday, late on Friday. I think it was Friday evening. And what does she say? This is a statement from Courtney Kramer. It's for immediate release, by the way. Kramer to Fani Willis and the YSL trial now. She's not playing around. She came out swinging. What does she say? Atlanta, Georgia. The following is a statement from Fulton County District Attorney, Republican nominee Courtney Kramer, challenging District Attorney Fani Willis to dismiss the YSL trial immediately. Okay. I think we're off to a good start. That's something a lot of y'all could get behind. But let's see what she says. As a Republican nominee for Fulton County District Attorney, I have watched the ongoing trial and endless prosecution of YSL. With no apparent justice in sight, I have become highly concerned and disappointed in the lack of prosecutorial oversight in this case. As time goes on, the public has witnessed a trial that is undoubtedly over-prosecuted by attorneys who have repeatedly been admonished for lack of trial preparation, a complete and utter waste of the court's time. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound familiar to y'all? Do you agree? I don't know how would you deny it at this point, right? Prosecutors were most recently condemned by the current judge for not following the ethical and legal duty to disclose exculpatory evidence that could prove fruitful for the defense. One of the most basic requirements in a courtroom. So true. With more than 180 acts listed in the indictments with 28 defendants, this case was brought to bring fame to current district attorney Fani Willis, not to bring justice to the community. Oh man, I am absolutely dumbfounded as to the motives in spending endless amounts of taxpayer dollars on a prosecution that is based almost entirely on witness with little to no credibility. She's taking shots at Lil Woody too, man. But a lot of y'all mentioned this in the chat, and especially during our live streams. A lot of y'all were saying, where is the evidence in this? What is going on? I haven't heard any evidence. I haven't seen any evidence. We talked about phone call records. We talked about, possible location tracking. But it seems that their entire case, and specifically when it comes to the murder of Big Nut, is solely based on a witness that says, one, I lie. Everything I say was a lie. Everything I said in the past was a lie. And two, he's been caught lying on the stand now. So this really isn't a shot at anybody. Honestly, she's just stating facts. Let me read it again. I am absolutely dumbfounded as to the motives in spending endless amounts of taxpayers' dollars, the taxpayers have names, on a prosecution that is based almost entirely on witnesses with little to no credibility. Not only have I lost an ounce of faith, not only have I lost an ounce of faith that justice is in fact being served and the people of Fulton County are being advocated for in the ethical and transparent manner, but this case should have ended by now. Even former District Attorney Paul Howard declined to bring this case, and now the public can see why. Now, Paul Howard was someone who Fani Willis worked for before Fani Willis became the district attorney. And he wanted no parts of this at all. From what we hear about Paul Howard, he ran a pretty tight ship. A lot of people liked what he was doing in Fulton County leading up to him passing the baton to Fani Willis. And he did some good things here. Still needed a little bit of work, but yeah, he said, nah, y'all can have this case. I'm not taking it. Also, what does Miss Courtney Kramer say? All right, now she's going to give her promise. If I'm elected at the next district as the next district attorney of Fulton County, I promise to end this prosecution immediately. I challenge my opponent to do the same. I challenge my opponent to do the same thing, the right thing, and end this prosecution and release the accused in this case who are being held without bond. Can we get behind that? I think I can. I approve this message. If elected, I intend to restore justice, transparency, and integrity to the office of district attorney, and the dismissal of the YSL case will be my first official action toward that goal. Wow. Fulton County citizens should feel safe in their own homes, parking their cars on the street, and shopping in their own communities. Victims of SEGS crimes should know that their elected prosecutor prioritizes spending taxpayer dollars, clearing the backlog of assault kits, we'll say, and not prosecuting cases for media attention. Dang. And if y'all know, I mentioned, well, you may not know, I mentioned a couple of years ago, I served on a grand jury. And one of the things they mentioned when I was serving on the grand jury was that we had to go through so many cases and there were so many indictments that we were covering on a single day because a lot of what happened during COVID just got backlogged. They were not holding court. Court was not in session. Y'all saw even some of the court they did have was all taking place on Zoom. And it's virtually impossible to go through all of these indictments on a Zoom call. So a lot of what Courtney Kramer is talking about here has been a big problem. Now, there's been some things done in Fulton County to clear a lot of that up. They've brought in judges out of retirement. They've gotten help from several different places throughout the county, but it still hasn't been enough. And she's saying she feels here that certain things have not been prioritized by Fani Willis. And we know, seeing what she had going on with Nathan Wade, that's probably true. So, I mean, she's on it here. All right. So she says, last but not least, this is not about right versus left. This is about right versus wrong. Above all else, this is about the future of Fulton County and holding accountable those who are elected to serve and seek actual justice. Okay, that's from Courtney Kramer. Let me know what y'all think about that statement so far. It seems pretty straightforward. And she's not playing around. Now, the thing we have to get into is, what is the likelihood of Courtney Kramer winning? Now, again, I'm not a politician. We just look at the facts. We have a little bit of common sense here on this channel, and we figure what we think is going to happen moving forward. So let's rewind a little bit, kind of talk about what Courtney Kramer's history is, how she got into this, what's her history as far as being an attorney, and then we'll look at some of the things Fani Willis is saying too. I've got this video here for y'all. This is going to be from 11 Alive. Check it out. Now, this took place 5 months ago. So everything was ramping up for this campaign that Fani and that Courtney Kramer were going to go on. And 11 Alive does a great job of giving a little bit of background.
Officially eyeing to replace Fani Willis as Fulton County's district attorney, 11 Alive was at the Capitol when Democrat Christian Wise Smith filed his paperwork. He ran against Willis 4 years ago, but today he said this doesn't mean that he's 100% committed to challenging her in the May Democratic primary election.
Right now, we're just weighing our options, man. And this was a necessary step, you know, to put our hat in the ring, should we decide to do that. And then, you know, y'all will be the first to know once we make that call.
Courtney Kramer is shaping up to be the Republican challenger. She actually interned in the White House counsel's office under former President Donald Trump for 3 months in 2018. After filing her paperwork, she took a shot at DA Willis.
Now, before we get into the statement, a lot of y'all heard, and I'm not going to pause Courtney like that, so let me rewind a little bit. A lot of y'all heard that she served under President Trump. This might be a little bit of an issue in Fulton County. She was an intern. She was in there for 3 months. Do with that what you will. Let's keep it moving.
In 2018, after filing her paperwork, she took a shot at DA Willis.
You should be prosecuting crimes, putting criminals behind bars, and keeping Fulton County safe. And I'm not scared to run against Fani Willis, but what I am scared of is the Fulton County I am seeing under her leadership right now.
Hey, I'm with her
on that. And DA
that.
Willis also filed the paperwork to run for re-election this week. Coming up at 5, more from these hopefuls looking to take her seat and what they want to accomplish.
That's funny. Someone in the comments said, why would her working under President Trump be an issue? You must not know any Democrats. But we'll keep it moving. So fast forward to May, and we had some interesting outcomes when it comes to the results for Fulton County. Y'all see Fani Willis absolutely obliterated Christian Y. Smith. I mean, sheesh. Y'all want to know how strong of a support system she has, even with everything that's going on? Look at these numbers. She got 77,000 votes. 87% of the vote is what Fani Willis got. Sheesh. And shout out to Christian Y. Smith. He got 13%. I mean, it ain't bad. And then obviously, Courtney Kramer actually ran unopposed from what I understand. So she was already given that nominee. So let's get into, we're going to fast forward to a couple of months ago. Here's another video where Courtney's being interviewed and talking about some of the things that she's seeing, what's going on here in Fulton County.
And we want to welcome you back into our online coverage of Georgia's primary. Your time now, 9:30. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Zach Merchant. You saw here on 11 Alive Plus, Fani Willis breezing past her challenger in the Democratic primary. Fulton County, let's see here. We're looking at the results right now. This is the race that has been called for Fulton County DA and the
those
primary
were the early results.
District Attorney incumbent Fani Willis easily taking the victory in this primary challenge.
Shout out to Christian.
She's got at last tally roughly 54,000 votes and 80%, or rather 88% of the tally of votes so far. We have some reaction from DA Willis here. Let's take a listen.
I am just so humbled and so grateful to the citizens of Fulton County who made this possible. Tonight, they delivered a strong and a powerful message. They want a district attorney that believes everyone deserves to be safe and everyone is entitled to some dignity. And it's a message that's pissing folks off, but there is no one above the law in this country.
Oh, man, I can't do this, y'all. I can't do it. Dang. Woo, the irony. The irony. All right, we'll keep it moving. I'll let Fani talk.
Off, but there is no one above the law in this country,
except for Fani Willis.
Nor is there anyone beneath it.
Dang.
And you're listening right now to District Attorney Fani Willis reacting to her victory.
At that watch party, which is in Buckhead, that is where 11 Alive's Grace King joining us now. Grace, last time we checked in with you, there was a lot of energy back there. The district attorney said that this is the time for us to stop and smell the roses. You spoke with the woman that Willis will now run against in the November election, Courtney Kramer. What's she saying tonight?
Well, we heard from Willis tonight who said, you know, this is not the end of her campaign, it's the beginning. And the person who will challenge her is Republican Courtney Kramer. She's an election law attorney who's practiced for about 4 years. She also worked for former President Donald Trump at the White House.
All right, y'all heard that. So she practiced for 4 years. Again, when it comes to experience, that's going to be tough to go against Fani Willis, especially since she's already the district attorney and she has the backing of a lot of heavy hitters in the community. Y'all saw a lot of y'all saw that picture that went viral of Fani Willis with Judge Whitaker. I mean, it's going to be tough. So her only practicing law for, I think it's 3.5 years right now, close to 4, and interning under President Trump. This might be, it's going to be an uphill battle, but we'll see what happens. What she got to say?
White House briefly. She said that she is to step aside from that case if she's elected, but that there's a lot more to the job than just that election interference case. She says she wants to give Fulton County voters a choice between a Democrat and Republican for the first time in quite some years. Take a listen.
I'm born and raised in Fulton County. I've seen the decline of Fulton County under a Fani Willis administration, under a Paul Howard administration, and that's exactly why I decided to run. It's not safe anymore. People don't want to live here anymore. I don't think that's fair for the voters. I don't think it's fair for the citizens.
Now they turn it up for Fani.
There's been so much political spotlight on District Attorney Fani Willis because of her prosecution of the former president. This Republican challenger says it's not about the politics, but that she has a lot of backing of Republican leaders. And the fundraising will definitely be interesting to watch on both ends, for sure. Back to you guys.
All right, Grace King live for us there in Buckhead.
All right, so there it is. Let me rewind that. So that was Courtney Kramer and Fani Willis. Fani taking the easy win. But we're going to see what's going to happen here shortly. Y'all have to let me know what you think. I know there's a couple of things that are red flags and going to be red flags for a lot of people here in Fulton County. But just do your own research, understand what's going on, and y'all definitely get out there and vote if you haven't voted yet. What implications do you think this is going to have on the YSL trial? Because, I mean, she's putting the pressure on Fani for sure. And I know a lot of what I hear, a lot of people I speak to in Fulton County, they know and they understand what's going on with this YSL trial. They don't like it. They're not happy about it. But when it comes to Democratic versus Republican, a lot of people will turn the blind eye sometimes. One more thing, and I'll let y'all get out of here. I wanted to check out her website and read her little summary just about her and who she is and where she came from and what she's trying to do. So y'all can find more information about Courtney Kramer at CourtneyKramer.com. All right, check this out. She says, meet Courtney. An Atlanta native, Courtney was born and raised in Alpharetta, Georgia at 18. She left home to attend Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, Georgia, where she took an interest in in the political process after taking several political science courses. Courtney was also active with her campus life, joining a sorority and competing on the university mock trial team, later becoming a mock trial coach for the university. It was during her senior year when her interest in the legal process ignited into a burning desire. Later that year, she graduated magna cum laude from Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, Georgia, with a bachelor in political science and was accepted into prestigious Emory University School of Law, which I believe Fani Willis went to Emory too, which is kind of interesting. Courtney made the most of every opportunity available to expand the knowledge in the law while working to obtain her Juris Doctorate degree. Oh, shout out to her. During her time at Emory Law, she won the coveted Restoring Religious Freedom Project annual award and was active in the Federalist Society. All right. Courtney is an active Georgia Young Republican and Georgia Republican Party. She's the current president of the Fulton County Republican Women. Interesting. Courtney was admitted as a member of the State Bar of Georgia in December of 2020. So fairly new lawyer, and is also admitted to practice law in the Georgia Court of Appeals and the federal court in Northern District of Georgia. James Magazine named her one of the most influential attorneys of 2021 and 2022, while being the youngest attorney to ever receive the award in years past. All right, so give it up to her. She's out here working. Y'all got to let me know what you think in the comments. Is this somebody that you would vote for? Do you need to do some more research? And do you think Fani is going to win?